Hello, everyone. Welcome to the PIPCAST 3000, episode 109. I'm Caedo Genesis, joined by my co-hosts BADCOMPANYSARGE
Hello there.
and Jared of Jaw Red Gaming.
Hi.
I didn't hear anything.
You didn't? Hello?
Hello.
Can you guys hear me?
I can hear you now.
What's happening?
It's like it didn't pick you up or something. Like the auto register is not very high or
Did
something.
you scream full pelt down the mic? Was that what happened?
I did, and then my neighbors hate me right now, and I don't care.
All right.
That's weird.
It is. We'll see how it goes throughout the recording. But for everybody else, this is a bi-weekly podcast where we talk about gaming news and some kind of Bethesda-oriented main topic. All the chapter points and timestamps are on screen and stuff like that. You can navigate if you want to. But we first go into the comment of the cast from the last episode where we talked about the worst Fallout DLCs. And a lot of people had comments about stuff, but a lot of them are long comments too, which I all appreciate, but my co-hosts don't like to read long comments.
Oh yeah, put the blame on us.
Yep, I'm blaming my co-hosts. Also, I'm not feeling great today. I wanted to make sure it's on recording too, just generally. But should I flip a coin? Who reads the comment of the cast? I don't.
Well, I wasn't there because I missed the last one.
Oh yeah, you weren't there for the last one. That's right. So Sarge, would you like to read the comment of the cast?
Okay, GB Riker 61 says, Lara Croft Tomb Raider and Mortal Kombat were both really good movies. Tomb Raider Angel of Darkness tanked the second Tomb Raider film, and the second Mortal Kombat movie just straight up sucked.
Yeah. I haven't seen either of those in a long time. I don't know how well they hold up now, but the early adaptations of game films were very hit and miss.
Yeah, there's a few good ones out there.
Mostly miss.
I mean, I unironically enjoy the Doom movie. It's just a lot of fun. It's got Carl Urban in it as well, in the lead role.
Oh yeah,
So
yeah. Carl Urban's a legend.
he's brilliant.
Behold my stuff. If anybody doesn't know who Carl Urban is, he's the origin of that meme.
I don't know that meme.
Me neither.
And I'm a big Carl Urban fan.
And Thor Ragnarok.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I forgot he was in that.
Yeah, it's because he's bald. Like,
Right.
he looks like a completely different person when he doesn't have hair.
It's just like, that's not him.
Yeah. But
I could just sense Sarge is, I can't believe you made a comment about his baldness.
But yeah, GB Riker 61. I will take your word for it. I remember, and I saw, I don't know, a gameplay of like the not Mortal Kombat, the Street Fighter movie, The Game, game, which was really entertaining to watch. But also, I remember the Street Fighter movie itself not taking itself seriously at all, and being enjoyable because of that. Like, yeah, just being cheesy for the sake of the cheese, and I often enjoy that if it's, done with that intent.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there are good adaptations, some good adaptations of games made films or shows. There have been, pretty sure there's been a couple decent adaptations over the last 5 years. Most notably being the Sonic film, the first one. It got a sequel, so that had to be successful.
Still haven't seen either of them.
and then the Super Mario movie that just came out that did extremely well. I think we reported on that too. I think there was something else, but I can't remember.
The original Super Mario Brothers movie?
That was the greatest film of all time.
Thank you.
Yep, of all time. I saw Corridor did a freaking all over the place. Corridor Digital did a little react series on them, and they revealed that there was actually like prototyping done, like prototyping for specific tools that are widely used today in the original Mario film. Like so special effects were pioneered with that movie.
Oh, wow.
Which is crazy. But anyway, thank you for the comment, GB Riker. And speaking of adaptations, we'll go to the news. I moved things around on purpose. I just found a Twisted Metal teaser for the Twisted Metal show that's gonna be on Peacock.
Oh. Oh well, let's move on.
I didn't know Peacock was making its own. Is it being made by them like how Netflix makes stuff?
Let's see. TV. It's got cool synopsis in the description. Twisted Metal, half-hour live-action TV series based on the classic PlayStation game series, is a high-octane action comedy based on the original take by Rhett Reese and Paul Wernick, and written by Michael Jonathan Smith. I don't know any of these people, but it's about a motor-mouth outsider offered a chance at a better life, but only if he can successfully deliver a mysterious package across a post-apocalyptic wasteland. Wait a minute.
Like he's a courier?
Like he's a courier, maybe, perhaps? But seeing as this is a direct-to-digital kind of show, I don't have very high expectations, especially because I don't think Twisted Metal was known for its story.
What?
No.
Or plot, or anything. It was known for some of its characters. Like, Sweet Tooth is recognizable all over the place, which he was definitely used in the trailer, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
But beyond that, like, it could be going the way of the Need for Speed movie.
No.
You guys remember that?
No.
That happened?
I do.
There was a Need for Speed movie. And yeah, it was just fast, light. Kind of. Because they'd already gone off the deep end, like, when that movie came out, and they were just trying to, like, make some sort of, like, racing film competition kind of thing.
Yeah.
The cars have guns in this one, so, like, they have a little leg up on, the Need for Speed film. I wouldn't say on the fast films, because I haven't seen them in a long time, because they're, just mass-produced schlock.
Yeah.
But
I'd argue that Twisted Metal will be less sci-fi than Fast and Furious is these days.
you're probably right.
Didn't they go to space or something?
I'm pretty sure Vin Diesel just turned into a jet at one point, flew around the moon to pick up extra speed, and then shot back to punch The Rock one time. That sounds about right.
Sick.
Yep. That sounds about right. I know there's a spin-off film too where they had like sci-fi technology. They had like mech or exoskeletal suits that improve their combat and stuff like that. Hobbs and Shaw? Yeah. Anyway, going off rails already.
Perfect.
I don't know. What are you guys watching the trailer?
I watched it while you were talking about
it's
it.
only like 45 seconds long, I saw.
Yeah.
It's not very long, yeah. And they have the last 20 seconds filled up with their their end cards.
Yeah, end card advertising, stupid shorts. There.
Mm-hmm.
This movie is going to live or die in reputation-wise based off its action scenes. If it does the action right, there'll be lore fans who are like, that was really good, that was really cool. If it does the action wrong, no one's going to care. And it's also on Peacock, so very few people are going to watch it anyway, I think.
Yeah.
So,
And hopefully the comedy isn't cringe.
ooh.
Like, if they do the comedy right as well, like, if it's, like, tasteful, I don't know if that's the right word, just not cringy.
Yeah.
That's the worst thing, in my opinion. Just comedy that tries to be too hard, and it just comes off as just, like, these guys don't get it.
I wonder what if there's like such a thing as passable cringe, because in the intro of this trailer it has a whole bunch of 90s early 2000s references, the Got Milk bumper sticker, the multi-disc clear case with like mixed discs on it.
That feels just like here's the time period kind of thing. Rather than, hey, look at this, we did a thing that's from the past. Like, they're not drawing attention to it and then calling it out. I feel like if they call it out in the show, then it'll switch over to the cringy side.
What I was getting to was like, there's some things that were funny back then, especially when the games came out, which was used in the games, that probably isn't funny now. Which begs the question, maybe which route are they going to go? Are they going to try to go nostalgic for their humor, or are they going to try to go, for a more modern kind of feel in that sense? I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying at this point.
All I know is I want to see the guy who's like stuck between two giant wheels. Remember that guy in the game? What's his name?
Dude.
Axel? Yeah, that's what I want to see.
I played him so much.
I want to see how that's portrayed in a film setting.
Yeah, I played Axel and Hammerhead all the time. Hammerhead was the monster truck.
Ah.
Yeah, I liked the big boys.
Big boy.
Yeah. But I have a lot of nostalgia for Twisted Metal. I'm sure a lot of people do. So, hoping, like Sarge said, that the action scenes are great. Then the rest, it can be okay. You know what else? It's gonna be okay.
Is it though?
Nothing's gonna be okay.
I'll find somebody else take this one.
The Witcher Season 3 trailer just dropped, y'all. And this is why I'm like, is it going to be okay? Because we all know the fate of this show by now.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure the season's going to be good because, our boy's still in there. But I'm watching it right now. I haven't watched it, so I don't really have anything to say about it. It doesn't really give a whole lot away, though. It's very much a teaser trailer. Yeah. Just some quick snippets of some action scenes and some whatever is happening.
Yeah, just really there to show us the dates, which are June and July, because it's in two volumes.
Yeah,
June 29th and July 27th.
Can we talk about that for a second?
Yes, we can.
Sure thing.
Netflix maybe backpedaling a little bit on their binge method of releasing shows, because maybe people just stick around for that short burst and then don't watch Netflix for a long time.
I mean, they do seem to be trying some different stuff. I know they did their Love is Blind as like a live thing, and that didn't work. Which got tweeted about a lot. A lot of people being like, Netflix tried to do live and pretend it was TV and just failed terribly. So I wouldn't be surprised if they are just doing a bunch of different stuff and seeing what works out best for them.
Yeah. To clarify, The Witcher Season 3 is being released in a Volume 1 and a Volume 2. Volume 1, June 29th, and Volume 2, July 27th. So, you get half of it for 1 month, and then the other half the second month. So, I mean, I don't know. This is going to be right after we get the Starfield deets, too. I don't know if I'm going to, want to watch it until Volume 2 comes out.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is going to have the effect that they want it to.
I mean...
Especially because of all the Henry Cavill stuff, where people are already, disappointed and preemptively missing him.
Yeah.
So...
Well, like what Jared said, it is a bit we already know Geralt's going, so it feels like the show's been somewhat spoiled just by casting, or casting news, I should say. Because it's Geralt's going away. I mean...
Well, it's I don't think it's so much that Geralt's going away, it's just that the role is being recast. So it's still going to be
My Geralt's going away.
Yes, our Geralt.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying. The world's Geralt is leaving,
yes.
And this other dude is
And we're getting Gerald instead.
Yes, I knew I mixed up the pronunciation for a reason.
He is a Witcher, but he's not the Witcher.
Yeah. Nice positive spin. I like it.
I'm trying, dude.
No, it's good. It's good.
Trying so hard. I expect to watch it at some point, just because, it goes over the Wild Hunt kind of section, which, could be rowdy and exciting. Could be meh.
Yeah.
Guess we'll see what happens.
Depends on the design, I think, because I'm still peeved by the Nilfgaardian armor, and it's such a small thing, but it looks so dumb. just takes me out of it.
The first season?
Yeah,
armor?
the first season, that weird,
Okay.
just looks like wrinkled satin or something. It's like they all slept in their armor and they woke up and they're like, oh no, I didn't iron my armor.
It...
Didn't like it.
Yeah. But they fixed it in the second season.
Yeah.
Did they?
I've just
I don't
scrolled
even
down to the
remember.
comments.
Ooh.
Oh, don't. You really shouldn't.
I don't think there's a single positive comment on there.
Mm-mm.
Well, I suppose... here's a positive comment. Glad we have an actor like Henry who respects source material and is a nerd himself. It's just incredibly barbed.
Oh,
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I think you might have been right about Geralt being gone, because I don't know if this show is actually going to survive into another season, to be perfectly honest. Or at least they may still have to because of contracts and stuff, but I don't know, man.
Yeah. I mean, it would be a lot. I feel like because they're doing the Wild Hunt stuff for this season, I feel like it's going to be like Siri focused in the next. If they do, I mean, since they do plan on continuing afterwards. But we'll see, because she's had her whole training montage. She's getting more powerful. Who knows? Something I do know, that we all know, is Redfall comes out next week.
It does. Are we all prepared?
Nope.
Nope.
Kind of.
I know we can preload it.
Yeah, I've already done that. I've spent the past 48 hours kind of getting ready, and I am not ready enough.
The Redfall launch trailer, side rant,
Oh,
don't call it a launch trailer if it's not launching.
okay. Yeah, I can
Please.
see that.
Because games are doing that a lot lately, and it drives me crazy. I'm like, did I miss it? No. No, they're wording it in a way that's misleading. And I want to, like, go on YouTube and be like, report, misleading title. So the actual launch date for Redfall is May 2nd, but the launch trailer came out.
I will just say that it kind of comes out on the 2nd of May.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
go ahead.
Time
Yeah.
zones. So it comes out from 5 p.m. on the 1st of May up until, 12 p.m. on the 2nd of May, depending on where you are in the world, sort of thing.
We get, like, first access, Caedo.
Yeah.
What
you
in the
guys in
world?
America will be getting it in the evening. Me here in the UK will have it at 1 a.m., which is great. Brilliant. And then over in the East, you'll be getting it kind of first thing in the morning once people are waking up. Redfall, I will say props to the Redfall Twitter account more than anything, which has put the global release times nice and clear. It's put, like, PC specs. It's actually, like, given that kind of stuff ahead of time, which I do very much appreciate.
Nice.
It is nice. I need to edit and correct myself, because this was not the song that I thought it was, because I played Wasteland 3 recently and had that stuck in my head.
Oh.
So I don't know the name of the song that is playing in the trailer, but it's, it's a pretty stereotypical thing for game trailers to do now, to have covers of popular songs as a backing track to the butt kicking, which I still do enjoy. And it does grab attention, because sound has a wonderful habit of getting into your brain and reminding
It's
you
November
of
Rain
things.
by Guns N' Roses.
Oh, my.
Oh, okay.
I've turned on the music for the first time and was like, well, that's an iconic song. That's incredibly well known.
Wait, is it? Wait, what?
Yeah. No, wait, no, it's not. I'm an idiot.
Oh, my
Oh my god, I've done the
guys.
same thing. It's Black Hole Sun.
There it
Black Hole
is.
Sun.
It's
Why
Black
did
Hole
I say
Sun.
November? I even pictured the music video for Black Hole Sun and was like, November Rain, Guns.
And the
Oh,
the
my
band
brain.
is Soundgarden. We're
Yeah.
both Sarge and I lose our music knowledge cards for the rest of the day.
Yeah.
Lucky for me for not saying anything.
Well done, Jared.
Jared, what's your guess?
Black Hole Sun?
Oh, I'm
By
sorry, Jared. You got
Soundgarden?
it wrong. It actually changed.
Oh, you nailed it.
Oh, God. It changed. How did they do that? Crafty developers.
Yep. So there are some like concerns surrounding Redfall, right? The 30 FPS situation on console, which is hopefully going to be fixed sooner rather than later when the game launches,
Yeah.
or changed, because it's not a bug, it's a feature. And then there was also the always online nature, is even if you're playing single player, which is another kind of issue that people don't like, understandably so. But one thing that's good about Redfall is the accessibility options that this game is going to offer. And Bethesda posted up, we have it linked below, posted up a just huge write-up on the amount of options that you're going to have when you play Redfall. It goes from difficulty settings to camera shake, head bob settings to color blindness filters, font scaling, subtitles showing speaker names. Lots of stuff that should be in most games at this
Every
point.
game. I mean, a lot of this stuff looks just really good. The fact that camera shake and head bob can both be turned off, love that.
Yeah.
Highlighting objects, that's something I really enjoy in a lot of games, but don't always want on if I want a more immersive experience.
The item highlight thing is really, really helpful.
Yeah. Unlocked tutorials in the archive menu can be viewed at any time. That's great. The amount of times I go back to a game like several months later and I've forgotten the controls or forgotten how to do something, having it be, oh, okay, I can just check this area, that's perfect. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff. I think there was somewhere in here where we talked about damage numbers, which I'm quite interested about. I like having that as an option. Where is it? I can't find it anymore. Let's just find... There we go, display damage numbers. Yeah, floating damage numbers above the head. That's just nice to have.
Yeah.
Means you can, especially if you're making like a guide or something and want to actually show the real damage, that can be handy.
Yep. I'm not, by the way.
Oh, you're not making any guides?
No.
What?
On Redfall, no.
What? Why none?
Because I mean, I may do tips and tricks, but I don't think I've already got something that I'm slowly getting through related to Fallout 3. And it's a big project.
Alright, well in which case I will be making guides on Redfall then, I guess.
Alright, do it.
You didn't ask me.
Sorry, Jared. What guides do you want?
I wasn't gonna make any.
Okay, well I won't make any either then.
Are we still planning on playing this? Like
Yeah.
Together?
us
Yeah.
together?
Yes. But I won't be free for like the first
Right.
couple of weeks. Is the
Yeah.
problem.
I know.
I'm
Oh,
the
no.
problem.
No. Wait, what are you are you doing, like house sitting stuff or?
Yeah, dog sitting like a few days after the
Okay.
launch. So the first few days I'll just be making as many videos and guides and live streams and stuff as possible. And then I've got to head off and dog sit for like a week or 10 days or whatever. I still don't know the exact time frame. I really need to learn that soon.
Looking forward to it. It's gonna be on Game Pass for everybody who, has considered Game Pass or wants Game Pass, or this year is probably a good time to get Game Pass if you've been considering it, because we've got Starfield coming too.
Yeah.
And that'll
Redfall,
be available.
Starfield, Chained Echoes.
Yep. And Hi-Fi Rush, which came out earlier this year, which I will sing the praises of all the time because it's an amazing game. Play them. Play all of them. Get Game Pass. Play game. Video game.
Not sponsored.
Good. Not sponsored.
Although
we could
Xbox,
be.
if you want to.
Yeah.
Xbox.
We know they're listening.
Even if they just want to pay for our Game Pass memberships for life, I think that'd be fine.
That would be pretty
That's
cool.
acceptable.
I'd be down for that.
Yeah.
I-
Go ahead.
No, before we moved on from Redfall, I was just looking at one of the pictures in the accessibility guide online here. I really like how realistic it is, where it shows gas prices are $312.
Yeah.
Sadly, that's actually believable.
Yep.
The way things are going. That's all. We can move on.
Okay. Redfall it looks like one of those games that has a game studio that made it. And sometimes people make game studios, and that's Day 9 / Sean Plott, who is well known as a gaming commentator and all around charismatic fellow. He's making a studio for a multiplayer PC strategy game, which is understandable because he commentated StarCraft for a long freaking time. I've been a huge fan of his. I've been watching a lot of his stuff lately because he has a series called Mostly Walking where he and his friends play adventure games. And some of them are nostalgic for me. Some of them I didn't even know existed and are amazing. So, he also did a Magic the Gathering series on, I want to say, Geek and Sundry, called Spellslingers. Which was him playing Magic the Gathering with his special guests, which were often people recognizable in the gaming space. And he's just everywhere. But I feel like this has been like a long-term goal of his, because even like watching archives of Mostly Walking from like 2016, he's talking about game development. So with the people that, he's co-hosting with. So I feel like this has been like a long-term thing that he's just been trying to make happen, and it finally is. So I'm kind of happy for him.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
It's a large Q&A through the PC Gamer article, I think. Yeah. So if you want to have a look at it, if you're like, who is this Day 9 guy, you'd probably recognize his face. But I just wanted to, who did you link that one, Sarge?
Yeah. I knew you like Day 9, so I was like, I'll put that on.
Yeah, it's funny though too, because I didn't know about Day 9 until Kite introduced me way back in like 2011. So, like I became a super fan super fast, as they say.
I mean, 2011 was 12 years ago, Caedo.
I
hate to be the one to do that, but
no, it's that I enjoyed watching his content after I was introduced.
Yeah,
I've just been watching his stuff more recently. Something that other people might enjoy and could be nostalgic for is From Software's new project, continuing an old series that they were known for back in the day. Armored Core: Fires of Rubicon. I don't know much about the Armored Core series, but I know that mech battles are cool.
Yeah.
I think we can all agree on that. Jared?
Yeah. Certain mech battles are cool.
Oh, Jared's got some spicy takes on this.
No, go ahead. Spicy take it. Do it.
The only spicy take is like I'm just not a fan of that style of mech combat. Like, I'm a mech warrior fan.
Yeah.
From the games to the books, which if you've never read mech warrior books, they're freaking amazing. Like if you like sci-fi, freaking amazing. I'm just never been a big fan of the Armored Core style where the robots kind of jet around and slide around. It's like, no, they're really heavy machines. It's physically impossible. I'm just not buying it. It looks cool. Don't get me wrong. Like, it looks like a beautiful game because it's a new game, yada yada. But I would just prefer a really good mech warrior game.
To be fair, I'm with you there. I'm like Mech Warrior and Titanfall are the mechs I like. And even in Titanfall, the fast mechs are still like not as maneuverable as when you're on foot, and they don't dart around everywhere. They can just like hover and dash a couple of times, and like, yeah, these mechs are just like, I'm gonna sprint to the other side of the earth and slash, bang, bang, bang.
Exactly, yes.
So you like the big heavy duty smashy mechs.
Well, they're always are described as like walking tanks. You know, to me, Mech Warrior embodies that idea better than other IPs, in my humble opinion.
So, since we have different generations of Metal Gears, you would probably like Rex more than Ray, is what you're saying.
Probably. Because I totally remember which one of those is which.
because Rex is the I gotta get visual aid up now because
Rex is a dinosaur, right?
T-Rex, a good old Tyrannosaurus Rex. Yep.
Yeah, and I know someone called Ray.
Metal
They're
Gear
an
Rex.
architect, so we're talking dinosaur or architect.
there we go.
Well, if we're betting on who's going to win the fight, well, architect could come up with some crafty things. Wow.
This is Rex.
That's Rex.
Rex is yep.
I don't remember them having names, my dude.
Well, they do.
Okay.
They all have names. And this is Metal Gear Ray.
Oh. Yeah, I definitely go for the first one.
Yeah. Rex is the big, heavy weapons platform that's made to fire a railgun. Whereas Ray is more like a submersible, like really mobile suit type of thing.
Yeah.
That has like a whole bunch of missile pods up the fins,
it looks
I
like,
guess. I guess those are fins.
It looks like a Pokemon.
Yeah.
I like most types of mechs anyway. I don't have a preference. Maybe because Metal Gear Solid shaped my enjoyment of mechs and fighting them.
Yeah.
But I also grew up with Mech Warrior 2.
Yeah.
That was like the first online game I played with my dad.
Nice.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
And he stomped me. But I always remember Timberwolf. That's a recognizable machine.
Yep.
For sure. Anyway, we've fallen away really
I could
fast
talk
to the
about
Armored
Mech
Core
Warrior
discussion.
all day
Yeah.
long, but let's not get stuck on
I'm having to
that.
stop myself going really in depth into why I like certain kind of mechs over others. Because, yeah, that could be a long piece.
If I can pull it back to the Game Awards last year, where this game, the Armored Core 6 trailer, was the thing that moved Jeff Keighley to tears.
Right.
Like he was breaking before he actually got to reveal this trailer, because he was so incredibly excited for it. So I know this has a nostalgia factor for a lot of people.
Definitely does.
I just didn't get to experience it early enough on to where I can like really appreciate it now, even though the mech battles look pretty freaking cool. The ability to customize, like making a bipedal machine or just having tank treads for legs, like that's always a cool thing that is neat as an option. Or a quadruped with rockets that let you just float up in the air. It's crazy. I want to see more of it. It's also FromSoft game, and I avoid those games, the games that they make a lot of the time, for the reason that I get salty pretty easily at their gameplay decisions. So
I do wonder how difficult this game's going to be. Because I know all the Soulsborne Ring fans are going to be like, oh, the games aren't difficult, you just need to practice for 100 hours. It's easy after that point. But there is
which describes pretty much every game.
Yeah. I think if we're going to be honest, the Souls games are difficult. It doesn't make them bad. Doesn't make them bad. It just means, they're difficult and challenging. You have to really work to get through them.
Yep.
So, yeah. We'll be curious if these have a similar sort of thing going for them.
Yeah.
Another thing that's not so bad, right? Because this is not a bad thing that this has happened, right? I can't remember the intricacies and the politics of the whole Blizzard Activision thing, but it's been blocked. You decide if that's good or bad. Because I don't remember. Probably wasn't the best choice of me to do the segue.
Honestly, I think that's perfectly in line with how we should feel about it.
Okay.
Like, is as good as this bad? I can't remember. Is yes, 100%.
Okay, because it was there's the threat of like Microsoft monopolizing, right? And that's the whole reason why it's being blocked or something like that.
Yeah,
like owning too many IPs and like
But
controlling.
not in the way, surprisingly, not in the way that we thought. Because the initial like big topic was Call of Duty,
right?
Mm-hmm.
Like because Microsoft would have access to making Call of Duty exclusive after a certain like gap of time. Like that was the main concern from Sony the whole time, because they're just like, that's anti-competitive or anti what do you call it Is it anti-competitive?
I mean, anti-competitive works.
Yeah.
Okay. Because like if Microsoft decided to like share the IP for a gap of time like 8 years or something like that, and then they're just like, nope, this is all ours now, and then they just suddenly made it totally exclusive to Microsoft platforms, like that would be monopolizing, but also like kind of anti-consumer because a lot of Sony players would be out of luck.
Right.
That's what they thought was going to, block the acquisition through the CMA, which is the Competition and Markets Authority in the UK. That's what they thought was going to do it, but instead they chose to go with cloud gaming.
Yeah.
And cloud gaming is what convinced them to block the acquisition.
Which is a bit weird, seeing as
Which
I feel
is
like
very
that was,
weird.
Yeah, never brought up at any point.
Yeah.
Before.
But after the UK regulators investigated, from what I understand, after they investigated like what other details, Microsoft would be gaining from this, it came down to cloud gaming and kind of creating a monopoly on that as well.
Yeah, I mean, the argument as well is a little strange, because Activision doesn't have, like, a proper cloud gaming thing, but the argument is that Activision would make a cloud gaming service if it didn't get bought by Microsoft. So they're stopping it because Activision wouldn't be able to make a cloud gaming service if it was on Microsoft, because they'd use their cloud gaming service, but they're also claiming that Activision's going to make a cloud gaming service if they're not bought, which is by no means like a guaranteed thing, which just muddies the waters even more. It's all very confusing. Activision shares have fallen 11% now, thanks to that, which is a thing. But yeah, this is... It seemed like this was going through, and now it's maybe not going through. Like, this... The thing that bugs me about this story at this point is it's constantly like, oh, big words, the Activision is being acquired, it's not being acquired, there's a whole back and forth, and none of it's actually been, like, final yet. And it feels like it never will be.
The only thing I could think of to add would be that it's so weird to consider, like, the industry of gaming is involved in this kind of political struggle. Like, this is the kind of thing you'd expect from, I don't know, company that makes sheet metal, but not games, not video games.
Yeah.
Like most of these companies were making games in their basement back in the day. Maybe not quite. I mean, Activision's been around for a very long time. In fact, Activision. Am I thinking of Activision? I don't know. It's still just weird to me to think of gaming and how huge it is. To me, it's still just playing games. I don't like to think of it this way. That's my only take on it.
What's your take on Star Wars Jedi Survivor?
I mean, let me tell you, Jedi Survivor has got everything. It's got everything. It's got Jedis, it's got survivors, but apparently it also has spiders.
Or spiders.
I'm assuming space spiders, some kind of alien creature with multiple legs. But hey, if you've got arachnophobia, fret not, friends. There is a toggle for that. Apparently in Jedi Survivor.
Yeah. We were talking about accessibility.
Mm-hmm.
Arachnophobia is a pretty common fear.
Mm-hmm.
I have it a bit.
Me too.
People I know have it a bit. Jared's got it a bit.
I don't have it, but I was jump scared by a spider the other day.
Yep.
Now you have it.
Now you have it. It was on me, and now I hate spiders. Yeah, so having that kind of a toggle in games, and we saw a big piece on that for Grounded as well.
Mm-hmm.
Just turns them into giant blobs,
yeah.
that are easier to be around. How they did it in Grounded was like it just made it more graphically simple to look at too. So I don't think that it would be so challenging to put into your game just having a mode like this, if you have spider-like creatures, not having to wait for like, a modder to fix your game by changing the spiders into something else or removing them or something like that.
I am
And instead
quite
just having it as
curious how much work it takes to put in the arachnophobia modes.
That's what I'm
We've
wondering.
seen them in a few games, and it's like, if it is just a tiny amount, you may as well put it in every game that has a spider.
Yeah.
But if it's not, then I could see this being still quite a rare thing.
Yeah. And there's the really challenging ones where like the main characters of the games are spiders. How are you going to do that?
Yeah, certain games I don't think it will work. I just wanted to say that I do think it's really cool that, first off, this is a toggle and that there's like different settings and things rather than it just being straight removal. Because I see some dumb takes sometimes on this, which is like, God, why can't we have anything in games anymore? Why aren't we allowed this? And it's like, they're still keeping the spiders in games, which, if you're someone who just finds spiders a bit scary, or just wants to keep it with the design and stuff and more diverse enemies and things, that's good. But if you do have a full-on problem with it, hey, there's a solution for that in the game, and it's not going to stop you from playing. So I think having it as like an option and a slider or toggle is much better than the developers either in the early stages going, well, we're just not going to have any spiders, or them going, we're going to have spiders, and anyone with severe arachnophobia is not going to play.
Well, we can really try to anger, those kinds of people right now by saying, hey, how about a difficulty slider for Souls-likes?
Oh god,
because that'll get people rabid pretty easily, I've noticed. But
so
here's the thing,
easily.
The more people that can play your game, the better. That's not even a hot take. That's just a thing.
Oh, I got a hot take for you. How about the ability to just skip boss battles altogether? Oh, what now?
Yep, you skip the entirety of Elden Ring.
I won.
You did it.
Run.
Take that, Melania.
Melania, whatever.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, well, now that we've angered everybody in the comments, we got the Gamer article because I wasn't feeling great. I am feeling a little bit better after we started.
Good.
But I wanted something a little easier for us to work through, and we did a worst NPCs. I'm pretty sure we did a worst NPCs episode like ages ago, but I don't think we ever followed up with the best NPCs. So we're gonna let the Gamer guide us on some of the best NPCs that they think are great, and then we can counter them and tell them why they're wrong.
Yay! Alright, who's gonna go out first?
Well, I gotta say who it's from and stuff.
Okay.
Zachary Wiggs wrote this. It was published only a few hours ago, like 14 hours ago, when we're recording this. So this is actually a kind of a new article, which is weird. But I'll read the intro and then I'll let one of you guys take the thing. It says, here are the very best characters from across the Fallout series. The Fallout series has been a fan favorite for decades now. From combining RPG and FPS elements, storylines that tug on your heartstrings, and graphics that make the apocalyptic wasteland come to life. There are plenty of reasons to be fans of this long-standing series. One thing that keeps players coming back for more is the characters. The characters that you come across during your travels in various harsh locales across the US, and are so often the last dregs of society in a harsh alternate future. These NPCs are sometimes serious, always a bit odd, but no matter what, they've found a way to survive post-nuclear America. But which of the many characters in this series stand out above the rest? Was that just hard for me to read, or is that just hard to read in general?
I mean, it was a lot of commas. I mean, I think there's only like a couple of sentences actually, because it was just I felt like it was very run-on-y, run-on sentence almost.
As
like
long as it's not just me.
I just expect it, I think, from...
There's also a note, crazy space between the letters, and italics. There will be some spoilers from the Fallout games. Okay.
Good to know.
Whichever one of you want to go first.
Three Dog. For many years... Wow. Where did that word come from? I don't know. There's no years in that. For many, the only voice of comfort in the capital wasteland, Three Dog is the host of the Galaxy News radio station that many survivors have tuned into across the wasteland. His often calming voice and music repartee make him an easy choice to keep you company on your travels at Fallout 3. It only gets better when you get to meet him in person during his following in his footsteps mission to find your father. He's happy to talk about your exploits from then on, good or bad.
So, do we agree
I mean,
that Three Dog is one of the best NPCs in the series?
he's definitely popular.
He is pretty popular.
People
He's got a
like
radio
him.
show.
Yeah. I feel like I don't really use the radio as much in Fallout, so I don't have a
Me either.
huge attachment to him.
Yeah, I don't think either of us do, Sarge.
Nah.
I installed a mod to shoot radios.
Oh dear.
So
You
so
fixed your game?
I picked... Maybe. It's mainly because I want a quick way of turning off radios if they're like across the room and a licensed track
That's
comes
a
on.
brilliant mod. I never even thought of that.
Yeah, because otherwise you got to run over to it really quickly.
See, I just talk very loudly all of a sudden until I get over there, and then it's all fine.
I mean, I do both because sometimes the radios are like tucked around, like Riley's Ranger compound, for example. I had to go through all the rooms to figure out where the radio was,
I mean,
and I could hear it the whole time.
making YouTube content in Fallout is just like having your own bonus extra Dead Money DLC element in all of the games all of the time.
That's put so well. I have nothing to add.
Great.
I think we can be happy with Free Dog as an entry. I mean,
Yeah.
I do wonder if this is like the best NPCs in general, or if this is ranking them like from 15th best to first best kind of thing.
I think this is just I feel like the last like 3 will be like these are the best of the best kind of thing. Because that's kind of like how I approach some lists. I don't know, but Three Dog's decent.
Yeah.
I'll give him that. And he's got a lot to say. You
He
can't say
does.
that about many of the NPCs that even people like. Is a lot of them don't have the amount of lines that he does because he has a radio station on top of like being part of the main quest. So
Solid character.
yep.
Number 14 is another main quest one. Sean, otherwise known as Father. Spoilers.
Father.
Speaking of family in the Fallout series, finding your kidnapped son was the most important thing to your character in Fallout 4. Well, that and building cool settlements. It was a big surprise to see that the leader of the elusive institute known as Father was none other than your son Sean. Thanks to being refrozen, Sean has outaged you and went on to become an important figure in the Commonwealth. Whether you decided to join him or stop the institute, there was something so stunning about meeting your son after all that time.
Was there?
Here's the thing. I think I'm a little torn on this, because I feel like Fallout 4, everything about it just got kind of memed to death. Like, a lot of the elements that aren't actually half as bad as you think feel bad because it's constant memes. Like the Preston Garvey another settlement needs your help.
Yeah.
That's a little annoying in the game, but kind of internet culture made it seem like the entire game was Preston Garvey showing up and bugging you. And in the game, if you want to, you can just like skip over most of his dialogue and it's not a big deal, and you don't even need to interact with the Minutemen. It's like a minor thing, and I think that's somewhat the case with Sean and the finding your kidnapped son sort of thing. I feel like there was a lot of memeing about it, but I feel like especially on the first playthrough, this was like a really interesting and cool twist.
Yeah.
If it wasn't spoiled for you before the game came out. Which it was for me.
Yeah, for a lot of people, unfortunately.
So I have a tainted view of this also, but then I look back at the Three Dog section. I'm wondering if we're like Sean the plot device or Sean the character in this entry.
Yeah.
Because it's like, oh, it's a twist, but it's just your character's son, and that's all that's kind of anchoring you to this entry. At least that's what it feels like to me. But again, it was spoiled for me. I have very little attachment, and I also hate the Institute and how they and Sean were both written. So I don't know.
I mean, I'm okay with Sean. I kind of like the Institute, but feel like it did fall short of the mark and needed to be a bit clearer on like a specific goal that made a bit more sense, because it just saying mankind redefined isn't really enough. I feel like if they'd
Nope.
gone a bit more into it, it could have been a faction that I really felt and sided with. But instead, I'm just like, ooh, clean place. I'll stay here.
Yeah. Ooh, look at all these components that I can get from all these things
so
laying around that I can
much
just pick up. They don't have a freaking anti-human crime department, just a synth one. That's one I don't really agree with personally, but you already know why. So my view is tainted on number 14.
Yeah, I mean, Jared, what's your general view about Sean?
I mean, I'm kind of torn now that I've listened to you guys talk, and I think Caedo's kind of right in us trying to figure out like what this list is actually about. If it's about the NPCs just as NPCs, or if the NPCs as plot devices. Because like I agree with Sarge that him being, that whole thing, it was like, if not spoiled, which it was not spoiled for me, it was like, whoa, cool, that's different. I wasn't expecting that. I don't know, but him as just a character though, I think I only played through the Institute like one time, because like you're saying, like, it not really fleshed out, not really as interesting as it could have been. I don't know. It's actually a tough one for me. Like, I don't think he's a bad character.
I think I'm kind of in the same boat as you.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, Sean's alright, and I think there's some interesting stuff about him. But also, like, 15 best NPCs throughout the entire franchise might be a bit much for him.
Yeah.
Like, if you guys were making your best NPCs lists, would you include Sean?
Probably not.
I mean, it depends how many entries I needed to put in and fill.
I think Kellogg would take his place pretty easily.
Yeah, I mean, Kellogg better be here somewhere.
Right.
I think it really does come down to, like, how many really good Fallout NPCs do we like?
Mm-hmm.
And then if it gets to that. But once again, if this is in order, then Free Dog should be above Sean.
Oh, for sure.
Right.
For sure.
Definitely.
Because he has a very clear, defined goal that he talks to you about constantly. Whereas you can't get it out of Sean the first time you meet him as an adult. And it's infuriating. Anyway, number 13, Dog/God. This is the Nightkin from Fallout New Vegas Dead Money. Fallout New Vegas had a lot of amazing and memorable characters. One such found in the Dead Money DLC is actually two characters that share the same body, that of Dog and God. They are a type of super mutant known as Nightkin, referred to as such for their love of stealth boy use and stalking tactics. His mind torn after the death of the Master in the first Fallout game, he now serves Elijah, but is now just as trapped as you are. These two personalities are diametrically opposed in mood, and there's no such character quite like them in the rest of the Fallout series. I fully agree with this.
Yeah. Dog/God is very interesting. It's something different done with the character. It works kind of well. There's, like, proper backstory put into him. I do think he only works because he's in an isolated DLC.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Having him, like, in the Mojave in general, following you around and interacting with stuff, I think would ruin it. But that doesn't happen. He's just in this small, isolated place and is fit in line with the story narrative of that DLC.
Yeah. And it can be said for like all the NPCs that are in Dead Money as well. Like they're all broken in some way, which makes them interesting. and all having an issue relating to the main theme too. Like they all have an issue with letting go as well.
Yeah.
For Dog/God, it's letting go of control. For Christine, man, what is it for Christine?
Letting go of revenge.
Revenge? Yeah, that's right. Dean, letting go of greed?
Yeah, letting go of the money and the heist
greed and
that
jealousy?
he's been working on for all that time.
Yeah. So, they're all cool, but Dog/God does get two for the price of one.
Yeah.
And
oh my god.
Both are crazy.
Yeah, this means they've got the list wrong. It's actually 16 entries, 0 out of 10.
Yep. Oh, get wrecked.
Get wrecked. Well, my hot take on this is I'm never really been a big fan of super mutant characters, so I don't like it. And I don't
Wow.
really remember him either, so that's really the true reason.
I will say I'm also not a big Super Mutant character fan generally, but Dog/God is probably my favourite out of all of them.
I think it takes the right super mutant character, because if you go by like Fallout 3 and Fallout 4's super mutant characters, they're not the greatest.
Yeah.
Except for maybe Fox, but Fox has a tie-in with the main story, and that makes him more interesting. And he's also completely
I didn't like him either, though.
separate from... Really?
Yeah, well,
I'm not a Fox fan either.
Wow.
But I'm
Yeah.
again, I'm just not a super mutant. I just don't care for the. I just don't care. Big, like no, and it just doesn't really do it for me.
All right.
I mean,
I don't
Dog's
know.
kind of a big brrr sort of thing, but then God balances out by being more of the intellectual one.
Yeah, I'd have to play. I haven't played that DLC. I think I played it through one time in my entire life, so I barely remember it, unfortunately.
Well,
Sorry.
I understand where you guys stand now on Super Mutants.
Hey, I like some Super Mutants, just not the vast majority of the characters who are written. I probably enjoy the generic Fallout 4 Super Mutants more than a lot of the written characters.
Yeah, I think I might even agree on that as well.
Yeah.
Because you get to shoot them. I mean,
Oh, no, because they've got funny dialogue lines.
They
and
do,
they're
I was
kind of
actually
brutal
thinking that.
and have cool settlements.
Yeah.
it is.
I also have the nostalgia of Marcus, and he's my favorite. So I want to jump to the defense of him, but I realize also that most people never had him as a companion because he's in Fallout 2. So, but he's also, companions aren't written very far beyond their intro in Fallout 2 either. So, anyway, number 12. I think it's you, Jared.
I believe you're correct. Number 12 is Joshua Graham, once Caesar's or Kaiser's right-hand man, now shamed after the defeat at Hoover Dam. He is a boogeyman for Kaiser's Legion. How do you guys pronounce it, Caesar or Kaiser? They pronounce it Kaiser in the games.
Caesar, but yeah.
Anyway.
I would like to respond to your question with another question.
Oh boy.
Do you order a Kaiser salad?
I knew you were going to say that. No, you're right. You're right. Hey, man. I was just curious.
It's fine. I like Caedo is pronounced Caedo in the proper Latin, and nobody, including myself, says it that way.
Okay.
So,
I see. Caedo. I'll remember that.
thank you.
Anyways. There's more to this character. Your character meets him in Zion as a main character in the Honest Hearts DLC. He is a deeply religious man and has used his religion to stoke his own hatred of those who stand in the way of him and his found family in the form of the dead horses. He is a rather stoic character, but it becomes quite apparent early on why so many in the Mojave fear him and what he has become.
He's got a lot of build-up as a character.
Yeah, I feel like this is one where the legend of Joshua Graham is a lot better than the actual character of Joshua Graham.
I think you worded it well, what I was trying to say with my brain, but my brain doesn't.
Like the whole legend of the Birdman, this person who opposed Caesar and then got like, oh, he didn't do well enough, so we're gonna set him on fire and throw him off the edge, and it's like all really cool, and then you hear whispers about him, and then you meet him, and he's just like, have you read the Bible? I'm your local missionary here to teach you about religion, also guns.
Yep. Also, vengeance?
Kind of?
Kind of. Something like that. Can't expect God to do all the work. Bam, bam, bam. Memes.
Yes. Memes.
Yeah. I know why he's on this list, because it's Joshua Graham. But I still, like you said, I think the Burn Man would be cooler to have on the list. Like prior to Honest Hearts, just saying the Burned Man, or like if the Father in the Caves took his place.
Yeah.
Even though that's an NPC that's long dead.
Joshua Graham's popular. I get why he's on the list. I don't like him. That's all I'm going to say about it.
Yep.
I
think
agree.
I'm with you on that.
Yeah.
Right. Next up, we have Harold.
Yeah.
Oh dear. A repeating character in the Fallout series, Harold and his plant companion Bob have quite an odd history. After Bob, who was used as a hat by Harold, was exposed to the FEV, he had a sort of growth spurt. Unfortunately, that meant that Bob took root in Harold, forcing them into a sort of symbiosis as they shared one body. His plight in Fallout 3 and the cult that surrounds him is one of the wackiest, albeit also morally and ethically diverse, quests in the game. Harold deserves a spot here. He's in a lot of the games.
Yep.
Yeah.
And he's always a softie. Like he's never a antagonistic style of character. So if you want conversationally comfortable place to be, talk to Harold.
Yeah.
He's also got jokes. How did you survive the FBV? He's like, got killed. Yeah.
If only he had good jokes.
I'm not a comedian. His tact and dialogue is better than mine because I'm pretty sure he's voiced in all the games too, even in the classics.
Yeah.
Like he's a talking head in Fallout 1 and 2. So
nice. I do like that he links the classics to the more modern 3D games.
Mm-hmm.
And personally, I do enjoy the whole tree Harold part. I know that not everyone likes it because it kind of spells the end for Harold, but I do like that as an ultimate endpoint for him.
I'm slowly changing my mind on it. Like I was super anti Tree Harold.
Yeah.
In Fallout 3 because why would they get rid of such a well-known character? Thinking about it now, like I don't know of any way it could have been done better if they had to do it.
Yeah.
And also, I'm probably giving too much credit. I've probably talked about this already, but I think the whole Oasis quest is also a metaphor for the Fallout series as a whole, because this is when Bethesda took the reins.
So kind of like a metamorphosis of the franchise.
Yes.
A metaphor.
Yes.
A metamorphosis.
Exactly. I was trying to figure out a way to do it, and you did it. Thank you.
Nice job.
That was horrible.
So is it me next?
Just quickly, I wanted to say my
Okay.
concern is that if Harold was just kind of kept in the same sort of state, he'd be like the Fallout version of Mike the Liar, who is a character I don't like in the Elder Scrolls too much, because it's just like, hey, it's an Easter egg, here's a few lines of dialogue, bye.
Yeah. That's understandable.
Now
Yeah.
we can move on to the next one.
Yeah.
Okay. Number 10, Vance. The Capital Wasteland is a hard place to live as is. What doesn't make it easier on local farmers is a group of youths hiding in abandoned metro pretending to be vampires. Wow, this doesn't make them look good. Vance, the leader of the vampires, known as the Family, takes in anyone who feels abandoned by society and who may have rather unique tastes. As their leader, he is an odd sort, rather moody but well-spoken. He hopes to see a kindred spirit in the lone wanderer. Whether he does or not is up to you. It's weird, this paragraph doesn't make it sound like he's a best NPC.
Yeah, I feel like in a lot of them, they're not really selling the character, they're just explaining who the character is.
Yeah.
It's just like, here's this person. They're the best, we're not going to tell you why.
Yeah. A group of youths, too.
Yeah.
Like this was the old man yells at cloud of sentences for this article. You gosh dang youths and your vampirism.
I am also curious who just thinks about Vance when coming up with the best Fallout characters.
I don't.
Like, yeah, I don't think he's bad. I think he's interesting, but he's not someone who would come to mind. I need to be prompted to think of him.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's because they're also kind of isolated to that area.
Mm-hmm.
Like after you're done with the family quest line, like all you really get out of it, or as a reason to go back, is just returning blood packs to them.
Yeah.
And blood packs take up carry weight.
Mm-hmm.
And I often go back to literally any of the other turn-in NPCs more than Vance.
Yep.
So I have less reason to remember him too. So I don't think he should be on this list.
I think he's similar to Sean, where he's like, yeah, he's fine as a character overall, but there's got to be better choices, right?
Yeah.
And speaking of a better choice,
Is it my turn?
yep.
Caedo probably should have this one because it's a character from a game I've never played. Number 9 The Master. Part man, part machine, but not in a cool way. It's so mean. I don't even know this guy. If you have run into a super mutant in one of the Fallout games set in the West Coast, then you probably have the Master to blame. Once human, he was turned into the monster you meet in the original Fallout thanks to the FEV. His goal being to make as many human survivors into super mutants as he can. This obviously doesn't set well with your character, but even after his death, the Master has forever altered post-apocalyptic America. Okay.
Yeah, the Master's super iconic.
He's
very cool.
Probably the most iconic villain in Fallout.
Yeah. I'm sorry to say this, Jared, as well, but I think he might be the best example of like doing a boss battle type thing in Fallout as well.
Ow!
Because the confrontation with him can go a lot of different ways, and really adds in a lot of variety.
That's okay.
It's good.
He made the super mutants.
Yeah.
So I don't like him.
Some of them not anymore.
As Sarge was saying too, you can also just skip his fight.
What?
Mm-hmm.
Skippable
Just
boss
set a
fight?
bomb to explode and leave.
Yeah.
Dang, they're ahead of the game.
Yeah, you can be like, I don't fancy fighting this person. Let's blow up the entire building he's in.
Yep.
Heck yeah.
And you can also dialogue kill him. So there's that too.
You can talk him to death?
Yep.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yep. The Master's brilliant.
Yep.
He definitely deserves to be on this list. Honestly, would probably have been like my number one pick.
Wow.
And I've not even encountered him in person. I've just watched a lot of him and know a lot about him. He's very cool.
Cool. Right on.
Someone else, which many people think is very cool, is Frank Horrigan.
Yeah.
If super mutants weren't scary enough, an Enclave super mutant in power armor is nightmare fuel in the Fallout universe. But that's just what Frank Horrigan is. One of the deadliest enemies in the series. You have to defeat them to stop the Enclave's evil plans at the end of Fallout 2. Doing so was no easy task, thanks to all of his weapons and cybernetic enhancements. Even after splitting him in half, he still lived on to spite you one last time, arming a nuke that he hoped would end you.
Yep.
Frank Horrigan's kinda cool.
That's Frank Horrigan.
Yeah.
I've already talked about and geeked out about how much his build-up is cool.
Yep.
As a device in Fallout 2.
Mm-hmm.
And it definitely puts him high on probably a villains list, maybe not an NPCs list.
I mean, I'd still put him high on NPCs. I suppose NPCs includes everyone except the player character, which makes it a bit tricky.
I was trying to it's a weird difference between like characters that you love to hate and then characters you just love. Because like
I mean, this is just best as well,
it's
which is
best. It's so generic.
the ultimate superlative.
Yeah. So like if I were to put the Master and Frank Horrigan somewhere, it would probably be on a villains or bad guys or something list that definitely put a spotlight on those types of characters, those archetypes, more so than characters that I just like. I don't know.
I mean, one detail I really like about Frank Horrigan is that he's basically a super mutant in power armor, which does help to distinguish the Enclave from the Brotherhood a bit, because I feel like those two factions have a fair amount of overlap to them, especially like superficially. So having it be like, okay, the Brotherhood's very much just like just humans kind of thing, where the Enclave is just like power, makes a bit of a distinction. And Frank Horrigan, I feel, embodies that.
Yeah, even though he's like one of the only examples of like Enclave being like, we just need a really powerful CIA agent, so let's mutate him and also make him a cyborg and also put him in power armor.
I mean, in Fallout 3 they like try and mind control the Death Claws, which is a nice thing as well.
Oh yeah, that's true.
But those are the two examples.
Well, wait, yeah, they made the talking Death Claws too in Fallout 2. I completely.
Yeah,
I was just thinking about humans, but yeah, if they can make killing machines that you can give complex orders to, that's their kind of thing.
Yeah. All right, Caedo. I feel like they've just gone, okay, who is the villain in Fallout 1? Who's the villain in Fallout 2? Who's the villain in Fallout 3?
I see a pattern.
Number 7, John Henry Eden, For a United States that doesn't really exist anymore, there sure are a lot of last presidents in the Fallout universe. John Henry Eden being one of those presidents that you come across in the main questline of Fallout 3. Surprisingly, the weirdest thing about him is that no one seems to have voted for him. It's actually that he is a computer. Wait, did I read that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you did.
He is the AI leadership responsible for the Enclave's endeavors in the Capital Wasteland. While his time in the game is rather short, he is one of the more memorable characters on weirdness alone.
I mean, he's certainly kind of weird, but I do feel with how short he's in the game, it's...
But he's also got his own radio station.
He does, I suppose, technically. Yeah.
That nobody wants to listen to.
You know what? I'm not an American. I feel like I should stay out of this debate and let you two deal with it.
Oh,
Okay. I'm not saying he should be on the list. I'm saying John Henry Eden is boring.
yeah.
And not an
I mean,
NPC I would describe as interesting or best.
yeah, I think you're right. I don't think it really deserves to be on a best of list. I have to say, like, I do have a soft spot for AI characters. So he does have that going for him because that is clearly what he is a computer.
So, say if we replace John Henry Eden with, I don't know, Curie
Yeah, easily.
or
In fact,
Codsworth even, the amount of names that Codsworth can say,
yeah, you're right. I forgot about that.
you can put him in a bowler cap. You can't put the president in a bowler cap.
No wonder no one voted for him.
Yeah. He doesn't look dapper.
Yeah.
Yeah. Disagree with number 7.
Mm-hmm.
Moving on.
Number 6, The Mechanist. The Mechanist has taken many forms over the Fallout series. What started out as a comic book character before the war, the costumes left over have been worn by a few ne'er-do-wells since. Both iterations of this character have been trying to do their best to protect the people around them with their mechanically inclined abilities. Sadly, both have fallen short, leading to the death of many in the Commonwealth and plenty of ants in the Capital Wasteland. Either way, any Fallout character will remember their interactions with this monster of mechanical mayhem. Oh, the alliteration.
Oh,
Whoa.
I kind of love that part at the end.
This is another one where they've technically got multiple characters in one, and even more so this time. Like, they're really hedging their bets, not going in for a specific mechanist.
Yeah. Because they're kind of two different characters.
I mean, they're totally two different characters in Fallout 3 and Fallout 4. They are two different people.
Yeah.
Just flat out. And they just wear similar armor.
Maybe it's the
So-
idea of the Mechanist.
Yeah. I guess it's like saying Batman's cool,
Yeah.
but
It's
not
like
saying
passing
which
on the Mickey
Batman.
Mouse costume. The
yes, or
smelly,
the Mickey Mouse costume.
sweaty Mickey Mouse costume to the next hopeful youth.
Yeah. I mean, I like robots, so I do like the idea of the Mechanist, but it's like the best NPCs. Like, I've already started thinking of a few who are not on the list who should be. And I'm like, would the Mechanist make the cut? Maybe. Then I'd probably go with the Fallout 4 version just because there's a bit more dialogue and a bit more interaction with them. But I also like the Fallout 3 Canterbury Commons storyline. So, I don't know.
There's a lot you can do with that one too. The
Yeah.
Canterbury Commons stuff. Like if you go to Huber's Comics first
Yep.
and look at the history of those characters and then do it, like you have extra dialogue because you found more info on the heroes and villains themselves. It's really cool.
He does look like he could blow bubbles with those ear things, though.
It's very distracting,
All right,
isn't it?
you're right. Top place. Top place. Dip the helmet in bubble dip.
Just do a twirl and then bubbles come out. It's great.
Boom.
Alright, number 5, Mr. New Vegas. Another big name in post-apocalyptic radio. Mr. New Vegas is a synonymous name with entertainment in the Mojave. While sadly you never meet the sultry voice behind the microphone in this game, he does make some lonely journeys a little less quiet with his quips and music. while he may not be a physical character in the game, no one who has played New Vegas will have gone through the game without hearing his daily updates and soulful tunes. Except for me, I have never listened to Mr. New Vegas article thingy. You are wrong. You are very wrong.
I'm starting to think, Sarge, that this list isn't made for us.
No. It's made for someone who just goes through the main quest, does a couple of side things, and listens to the radio.
He doesn't even really have a face, so...
He doesn't exist, he's just the radio host.
Yeah.
No. Just no. That's wrong.
I would never put Mr. New Vegas on any of these lists.
Nope.
Even though...
Maybe best radio station list?
Yeah.
Sure.
That would work.
If I were counting down the top 15 radio hosts in Fallout.
Number 7. Oh no, I ran out.
First half of the list is just blank. Yeah, Mr. New Vegas is a dumb choice. I think this is the dumbest choice so far on the list.
Agreed.
Mm-hmm.
Like, even with, like, Vance, I'm like, well, people like vampires, I guess, but Mr. New Vegas is a nothing character. Just pointless. Let's move on to the next one.
I think it's
you.
It's you, Caedo.
Is it? Oh, okay.
There's only 3 of us, this is not a
I
hard
know.
order.
I'm having such a struggle right now.
Hey, I'm
Number
forgetting
4, Arthur Maxon. Arthur Maxon has had quite a change during the Fallout series. From the lovable scamp of the Citadel to the iron-fisted leader of the Brotherhood of Steel in Fallout 4. It's quite a change, to be sure, but it's a change that earns him credit as one of the most well-written characters in the series. As you hear his ideals in Fallout 4, whether you agree with them or not, you can easily see how he has become one of those conclusions. No one rises so quickly in the BOS by anything less than unquestionable fervor, and that's something that Maxon embodies well.
That is a strange final sentence.
That was really hard to read. I think this was written to be inclusive to those who hate him too.
Yeah.
Which is a good consideration because I just like him as a character. I've said it a lot. So
Yeah. I think he's a very good character overall.
he's one I
Like-
would put on a list.
Yeah, the middle line of the second paragraph is, yeah, you can easily see how he's come to those conclusions and stuff. He does quite an impassioned argument. Also, I'm going to say one of the best voice-acted characters in the Fallout franchise.
Yep.
Like, his speech really does kind of hit hard, which is good, because you can't skip it. And normally I skip through all the dialogue I can. But he's well-acted. He's got a cool look, which I think helps a lot with characters, making them visually distinct.
Yeah.
And just, yeah, he very much embodies the Brotherhood, but is trying to reforge it into something a bit new. Like, he's cool.
He's got a cool jacket.
Yeah.
Yep.
If you kill him, you've got a cool jacket.
What?
Yeah. Didn't you know this? This is how ownership works. You kill a person, you get their stuff.
Yeah.
Do not try IRL.
No.
No. Mm-mm. Good disclaimer.
Just
Sadly,
imagine someone picking up a knife and then disappointedly dropping it. Aww.
it's a sadly and probably necessary disclaimer.
I feel like Maxon is, like, yeah, a solid include, but there's probably not much to say because, yeah, he's just kind of a cool character, well written.
I haven't played Fallout 4 in a long time, so I just have a lot of fond memories of doing the Brotherhood quest because I was like, thanks, Maxon, I have no questions. Because he's very direct, and you know what the Brotherhood's there to do.
Yeah.
And then you go to the Institute. Nope, sorry, can't. I shouldn't.
Yeah. The fact he doesn't talk in circles is actually quite a big point.
It's so nice.
Just, I've been playing a lot of Skyrim recently, and there's been a few missions where I'm just clicking on the next dialogue option in order to ask something which was, like, there was no other option, both in the game and in a conversation anywhere. And just characters slowly getting to a point is something that started bugging me. But Maxon is like, here's what we're doing, here's what's going on. And does, yeah, keep himself fairly concise, which is nice.
I think it's you, Jared.
Sure is.
Best of luck.
Number 3, Stanislaus Braun.
Yes.
Yeah.
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 Betty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Betty is the neighborhood bully of the Tranquility Lane simulation. But she's far more than that. They are actually Stanislaus Braun, the famous inventor of the Gek that the lone wanderer is searching for. He has taken control of the form of this little girl to reveal in a sort of godly amount of control over the other dwellers of Vault 112. It's one of the oddest stories surrounding a character in the games and something you could only come across in Fallout. So I'm certainly an interesting character, I guess. I mean, that whole quest line is kind of creepy.
Oh, of course.
Let's turn Fallout into a horror game.
Welcome to my simulation. You cannot escape.
Yes.
That's my Braun impression. I'm never doing it again.
Do it. It's so good.
I do think he's very memorable. Like, definitely makes an impact on the character. And I think he deserves to be on the list. I actually forgot that he invented the Gek. That was something where I was like, as you were reading through, I was like, oh, he did that? Cool. Whatever.
Yeah, he's had his hands in a lot of, like, because I know Bethesda keeps linking back to him in, like, 76 as well, in some of the Vault projects.
Yeah.
Because, was it Vault 51? Was the Battle Royale Vault?
Possibly. I can never remember the numbers, but yeah. He is very good for just being like, oh, we're doing anything that we want to potentially pass off as a simulation in some way. Let's throw in Braun's name and then we're clear.
Braun's a part of this somehow.
Yep. I do like that it does kind of make sense, seeing as his whole Vault was just pure simulation.
Yep.
So, at least there's a credible link with him there.
Yeah, for sure.
I hope they don't just start throwing him in as any generic science name, but so far, it kind of works.
Yeah. All right. Next one.
Next on the list is Paladin Dance. The Brotherhood of Steel is a group that appears in all Fallout games, and for good reason. They embody the fitful relationship with technology that most survivors have, though perhaps no one is as staunchly loyal to the BOS as Paladin Dance of Fallout 4. He may seem like a pretty one-note character for most of your time with him in irradiated Boston, but his secret elevates him to one of the more interesting characters in the game. This powerhouse of loyalty and anti-synth mentality is actually a synth. A secret that he didn't even know himself. Seeing his loyalty override his own life, in the end, was enough to leave lasting memories for players.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was very interesting, like, yeah.
Because if they didn't have that twist in his character, like, he would be generic soldier guy.
Yep.
The whole time.
Yeah.
And
he would suck.
he would be Star Paladin Cross of Fallout 4. He would just be there.
Yep.
In power armor, shooting gun or smashing with hammer.
Yeah. And I think it does really tie in nicely to the whole synth story element of the main quest of Fallout 4.
What it means to be human?
Yeah.
I mean person?
Yeah.
You would correct me with person.
I would generally, but I'm
Usually.
still kind of half asleep, to be honest.
Okay.
So I didn't catch it. You could have got away with it, Caedo. You could have got away with it.
Kill him. He's a synth.
Oh no.
Ah.
But he's a good guy? I mean...
As good as the Brotherhood of Steel can be in a lot of ways.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
We've probably talked about it at some point, but the Brotherhood of Steel seem to get like a lot of credit from the community at large as being like, oh, they're good guys of Fallout, when really they're not.
No, they're not.
They're very grey.
Yeah.
No, they're fun, is what they are.
Yeah,
they're a fun bunch with fun little twists and turns every single game.
Yeah, and I do think the fact they're stylish, like, rubs off on a lot of people and are like, how could they be evil? They look so good.
Yeah.
I mean, Arthur Maxon is a snack. Like, I will not accept any other opposing opinions. Like, he's a good looking fella, and he's looking good with the jacket too, even though you can kill him for it, you know.
Yep.
But they got style.
Caedo, let's move on to the final entry. The best NPC in all of Fallout, unarguably, is...
Number 1, Chandler Bing himself. Benny, the main... God. I ruined myself with this. The man in the suit. A killer of couriers, and an all-around slick guy, Benny is the head honcho of the Tops Casino in New Vegas. He is also involved in an intricate scheme to overthrow Mr. House and take control of New Vegas. Unfortunately, he messed with the wrong courier. Whether you agreed with his intentions or not, he took up a lot of space in Courier 6's mind, sparking a revenge arc that would alter the Mojave for years to come.
I'm going to say that this is probably the key example of great plot point character, maybe not such a great character.
Yeah.
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 Like, I don't think Benny's terrible as a character, but he very much is just, like, the plot point, the thing that activates the story, all of that kind of stuff.
He does
and
provide
foremost.
motivation, and you're consistently reminded of it if you're going the normal, like, story progression route.
Yeah.
But that's more just like coaxing the player to go forward kind of thing. Don't know what word I was looking for there. Wouldn't put him in a number 1 slot ever, though.
No.
That guy holding the pipe. Look at that look.
Yeah, that's Jessup.
Yep.
He
Jessup
is
is the greatest NPC, obviously.
I
He is
imagine it's
strung
a
out.
shovel, not a pipe.
most of the... It is a shovel.
My
Yeah.
bad. You
Yeah.
can't see the head of it. It's cut off on the
But I like his bulgy expression when you're about to get shot. Next time you play New Vegas, look at Jessup instead of Benny. It's funny. It looks like you like a Borderlands psycho.
Nice.
It always feels like he's in over his head. Just like dug a grave and then is shocked that someone's getting killed.
I can't believe it.
Whoops. I didn't know this would happen.
I could see Benny maybe being on this list, but yeah, definitely not at the top. And
Yeah.
at this point, I think we should start throwing out the characters who should have been on this list.
Yes.
Because I've come up with quite a few already.
Yes. Kellogg, right? Kellogg's one of them?
Yeah, Kellogg, obviously. I mean, to be fair, I could see him not being on the list. I've got quite an attachment to Kellogg because I see the potential there, and I
Yeah.
could fix him. He'd be great with me,
I
all
could
that
fix him.
stuff. But I do get in the game, he falls a bit short. I think he's great idea, poor execution. So
Yeah.
I'm okay with him being off the list. I can handle that. Who I'm not okay with being off the list is Moira Brown, whose relentless cheeriness in the face of unending adversity really hits like the more comedic, light-hearted side of Fallout perfectly. She should have been on this list.
That's an opinion.
Wow. And that was some silence there, and then a sentence sure was.
I mean, she definitely
I think
belongs
Moira
here more than
Brown's
some of the other characters that are on this
Yeah.
list. Mr.
You're
New
putting
Vegas, we're looking at you.
Vance and Miss New Vegas in and not putting Moira Brown. Moira Brown at least makes a real impact.
I would have more expected her to be here, despite my own like or dislike for her.
Yeah.
So I'll give you that.
Yep. Well, if we're going to talk about characters that Caedo doesn't like, I feel like if they're doing multiple iterations one with the Mechanist, you should probably throw in Dogmeat, right? Like, super iconic to the franchise having a Dogmeat in there.
More importantly,
a dog.
why isn't
Dogs are the
Dogmeat
best
on
ones.
this list as an NPC? It's a
Yeah,
dog.
that's what I was meaning.
Oh, I thought you were... My bad, I was misunderstanding you.
Yeah, Dogmeat should be on the list
Yes.
at number 1, obviously.
Yes.
Caedo agrees.
Oh,
He does not need to say
100%.
anything, we just know that.
Yeah, he
I
doesn't
agree
even
with
have to
all of them
say it. He
except
doesn't
for the
even have to
Fallout
retort.
4.
You don't even
Dogmeat.
need to retort. It's okay.
I did.
It's fine, Caedo. We'll move on to the next one.
I'm retorting. Here I go.
The thing that bugged me with Mr. New Vegas, especially, is that they didn't put House in here.
Right.
Like, at first, when I saw the Mr. New Vegas title, I was like, have they misnamed Robert House?
That's what I was thinking too.
But no, they've thrown in the radio DJ and not the, like, human AI hybrid thing that's going on with House, who controls the whole strip and predicted everything and is really cool as a character no matter
and
what
would've-
path you take with him.
Yeah, and would have easily replaced Eden
Yeah.
Yeah.
for like it's another character you are talking to on a screen, but there's more to it than that.
Yup.
It's not just a Zack's computer mainframe type of character made into a antagonist.
Yeah. This came out recently, right? This isn't like an updated list, is it?
Yeah, this is a recent list. See,
Yeah.
yes, Okay, I think I know where you're gonna go because
Yep,
Fallout
go ahead,
76.
Caedo. Yeah.
Fallout 76 has some amazing NPCs in it.
Yeah, there's not many, don't get us wrong, but with the updates, Fallout 76 did add in some really cool characters.
Yes. Yeah. Some of the best, I would posit to those of you listening. A lot of people at this point kind of gripe about like the end game grind and stuff like that. But like
Yeah.
the Wastelander stuff and the stuff that was expanded upon that with just the Appalachia story, some of those characters are some of the best I've seen in Fallout.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm overstretching by saying that, because if you do experience those quests, you'll be like, whoa. Because it's also got the things that Fallout 4 was lacking when it comes to dialogue options and also choices.
Yeah.
In some of the quests where you wouldn't really expect them to be.
Yeah, I feel like I'd knock out a lot of the characters that are on this list and replace them with a lot of the mainliners in main quests for 76. Like, I'd like to have Rose, maybe Meg, Nightshin, and Paladin Romani all in here.
Yeah.
Is how I lean, but there's others who I could also easily see coming in.
That makes it pretty weighted against or in the Brotherhood's favor though too, if you include both Romani and Shin.
Well, I was going to go with the scribe, whose name I've forgotten as well. I like her, just as the middle line. I can't remember her name, and it's really annoying, but she's nice. Like, the Steel Rain was like a big update is the thing, and added in a few really cool characters.
Yeah.
So, that's going on.
Beckett.
Was it Beckett?
The camp ally that was a Blood Eagle.
Oh yeah, Beckett's bot. I was like, Scribe Beckett doesn't sound right, but no. Yeah. Beckett, man.
Yeah.
76 does have good characters.
He has one of the characters whose quest stuck with me for a long time because of the incredible writing and acting of his character. I felt probably the most emotion I've felt playing a Fallout game when doing his quest. And I was like, what is happening with me? This doesn't feel like a Fallout game. Why am I sad?
I do hope the 76 has no story kind of stereotype has fallen away at this point, because there is some of the best story content of all of Fallout is in 76. So
oh yes.
Yeah.
That's a weird ending for us to get. Like, we get to the end of this best NPCs list that excludes 76 NPCs. We're just like, yeah, just go play 76 and play the story stuff.
It's definitely not the take you'd normally hear.
Yeah, because it may be a little rose-colored glasses thing. How Rose? Because also, when you play through 76, if you want to play through the story again, you have to start a new character.
Yeah.
Which I know is kind of similar to, how you would do it in a normal game, but in 76 it's an online game, so you have to like gather all your stuff all over again. Quest based stuff is time consuming to do because it's an online game. I may do it sometime soon. Go through the story again and see how I feel about it, especially after all the updates. Like, I know because they changed or like fast tracked some of the quest stuff too, to not be like, obscure spots to locate notes or whatever, and instead NPCs. Might be fun at some point. I just know that the endgame stuff of 76 I am kind of burnt out on.
Yeah, we can all avoid the grind, but I'm sure you've had other games you can focus on the grind in. I see the one you're hovering over, Caedo. That's the game I'm thinking of.
Oh, it's not much different than any other time, really. I was playing Valheim.
What?
A lot.
Yep.
My moderator on my server, Dakoba, he has gotten in deep to Valheim, and I've been playing with him a lot on his world. So there's that. We just made it to the Mistlands, and then it was like my first death in his world. Because the Mistlands is brutal, but a lot of fun. And also, I've been playing a Lone Wolf playthrough in Divinity Original Sin 2 with Kite, my partner.
Nice.
Found out that if you are knowledgeable at all in Divinity Original Sin 2, playing Lone Wolf is really easy. Like, it's like setting the game to easy even if you're playing on like classic or tactician difficulty. Because you every level up you distribute twice as many points.
Okay.
And so essentially you're twice as powerful as most of the things you're going to be encountering, but you're controlling one character. But that one character also has more AP than the usual character. And if you know the different abilities fairly well, like you can exploit that to its to the extreme. And even certain characters can just like have infinite turns if you build them right. So Divinity Original Sin 2 is one of the best tactile turn-based RPGs probably out there anyway, or turn-based RPGs, isometric something video game that you can also play co-op, and is one of 2 games that I recommend when people ask me how to get into the classic Fallout games. So you can ease yourself into the format instead of using really archaic old controls and UI and stuff. Anyway, that's what I've been playing. Jared, what have you been playing?
Me, I've been playing some Dead Island 2.
How is it?
It's not bad. I've only played a little bit of it, which is why I say that. I haven't really gotten a chance to dive into the meat the meat of the game, which I kind of didn't on purpose say that, and then decided that I did want to say that on purpose, because it's a very gory game.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, holy crap.
Yeah.
Like, slow motion internal
the
intestines
juiciest.
moving around, the jaws hanging off of them. Like, it's like they went all out on the zombie gore, and I'm there for it because it's zombies.
The juiciest zombie game I've ever seen.
Yes. Yeah. I guess you could compare it kind of to Dying Light, but with less parkour. At least
that's
in terms of like mechanics and stuff.
because Dead Island was Techland, so that that makes sense.
But I started off playing it with the intention of not doing videos on it, and then as I was playing, I was like, you know what? I think I will do videos. So it's that's why it's a little slower going, because I'm not just playing it in my free time. What I have been playing in my free time just recently, Star Wars Survivor.
Jedi Survivor?
Star Wars Jedi Survivor, whatever, you know what I'm trying to say.
The Survivor guy in the Star Wars.
And yeah, if you played the Fallen Order and enjoyed it, you'll enjoy this too, because it's very similar. I like it because I'm a Star Wars fan. It does a really good job of making you feel like a bad A Jedi.
Nice.
Yeah. I still haven't gotten to dive too much into that either, because real life and not having all the necessarily the time to do stuff until the weekend. So I'm planning on doing that. And other than that, the one thing that's been kind of tying up my time is the Room games. Kind of a puzzle. I want to compare it to like Myst, but that really doesn't know, because Myst is on its own puzzle.
I watched gameplay of The Room and The Room 2.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if this is helpful. Think of an escape room, but it's more just like an apparatus you're looking at.
Yeah, that's probably a good way to look at it
for the majority of the time.
Yeah. Specifically, I played 3 and 4, which I believe are the latest ones. I know there's a VR one, but I don't like hooking up my VR headset anymore because it's a pain in the butt. So I'll probably never play it. I do hope they make more, because I really do enjoy the games. I do enjoy a good logic puzzle, and they're pretty to look at as well, those games.
Nice.
Other than that, that's about it. Sarge, it's all you, bud.
I've been playing lots of games. Conan Exiles I installed because I had tons of space on my Xbox for once, and it's like 180 gigs or something ridiculous, and I was like, this is fine. So that was totally worth the time. I have jumped back into Chained Echoes recently, because I was being like, oh, should I play Conan Exiles? Or I could play this really good game. And I was like, well, okay, I'm just going to start a new playthrough on Chained Echoes rather than wait for New Game Plus. I've also been sinking a lot of hours into Apex Legends, the Battle Royale by Respawn, who did Titanfall with the big mechs.
Oh, the Fortnite killer?
Oh god.
Sorry.
A very good battle royale game where I realised I only had 3 achievements left to get like a week ago, which was win a game as controller legend, deal 5,000 damage with 8 different legends, and win a game with 8 different legends. Legends are just for characters. And you start out with 6. I had enough like in-game currency thing, which I just earned through playing, to easily unlock 2 more. So I unlocked my controller legend, easily won a game with him. I absolutely dominated, did amazing. That was with Caustic, who lays down like gas traps and is really cool and just great character. Then I unlocked Fuse, who likes explosions and just blows stuff up all the time. And that's like his entire gimmick, so just tons of explosions everywhere. And getting to 5,000 damage with him, easy, meant I got the other achievement. Final achievement, all I need to do is win a game as Fuse, because I got all my characters knocked out the other way. Should be easy. I have not managed to win a game with him in the 5 days I've been playing as him.
Oh no.
In that time, I have won 1 game incredibly easily, but it's when someone else picked Fuse, so I had to play as Lifeline. And don't get me wrong, I did a decent job. I got a couple of kills and I kept my team alive, which is what you should do as Lifeline. She's like the best medic character. But these 2 people, I think one of them got 11 kills in a 60-person game, and you're in a team of 3.
Whoa.
Like, these 2 just easily won the game. And it was while I wasn't playing as Fuse, so I don't have the achievement. I've basically got 2 days before Redfall is out where I can play it a bit, and I might get the achievement, but otherwise I'm bringing my Xbox to dog sitting and playing it then. And because Redfall's right around the corner, I wanted to pre-record a ton of Skyrim and Fallout 4 content, and I am now shattered, because I've made 6 Skyrim and Fallout 4 videos over the past 2 days.
Oh my gosh.
Just to keep my series going throughout all of May. I've got pretty much sorted. And a couple of those recordings were very long. In Fallout 4, I did the Benevolent Leader challenge thing. I finished that, which means I do get the achievement, but it took a 2.5 hour recording to get that done, which was quite long. And then my most recent Skyrim video was about an hour and a half, because I did a big crafting session and I had to cut that down. And both of them I had to cut down quite a bit, so there was a lot of time editing, a lot of time rendering, a lot of time uploading. Immediately after we're done with this recording, I'm going to upload another video. Like, there's just been so much work, and I'm so tired, and I've got to stream Skyrim this evening. But once I'm done with that, I'm not playing any Skyrim or any Fallout for probably a good few weeks, maybe a month. So I'll have a bit of a break to focus on Redfall content. I'm going to be dead in like a week's time.
No! Sorry, not allowed.
It's fine. I've got like a break that I can't avoid with dog sitting, so I'm just going to like do tons of work over about a 72, 80 hour period, and then just sleep next to a puppy dog.
That's very nice.
Yeah, that's it. Nap time now. Do the outro, Caedo.
Thank you for sharing, Sarge, and Jared, and me. Thank you, me. Thanks everyone for listening and watching. If you're watching the B-roll on screen and stuff like that, hey, you get spoilers for the playthrough that's actually going to be very well edited in comparison to this. But either way, you can catch us next week. 2 weeks from now in the next PIPCAST 3000. Where we'll talk about something else, but that's related. Every other Sunday, 10 a.m. Pacific is when this goes up. But until then, you all take care of yourselves and have fun playing Redfall. Or don't. Just have fun. Bye-bye.